Hello and welcome to this 30-minute yin practice that is designed for before bed. Now that doesn't mean you can't do it at another time of day. It's just a nice wind down yin practice that may help you feel a little more relaxed as you go to sleep. For your practice today, have some kind of cushions or pillows. You could use yoga blocks as well. Anything that you have handy is perfect. And we'll get started in a supported butterfly. So have some cushions or pillows on your mat and have them so they're quite long. You're going to lay back onto them. You can come to sit in front of your cushions with your feet together and your knees wide. And then gently lower yourself back onto your cushions or pillows so that you're getting a nice gentle opening through the front of your torso. Definitely make sure you have some support underneath your head. You could even place another prop underneath your head to lift it up a little bit. And then you could have arms by your sides or your arms up overhead as you allow yourself just to settle in. So it may feel nice to close your eyes here and then seal your lips and start to breathe more deeply in and out through your nose. And so send your breath nice and low into your belly in this position. You might find that your breath is a little more restricted in this pose. That's okay. Just keep your breath as deep and steady as you can. And throughout your practice, always remember your breath is your own guide. So each time you're setting up a pose, check in with your breathing. Always make sure you can breathe fully. And if not, then readjust the pose. Okay, so before coming out of this pose, just think about it for a moment. You want to create as little tension as possible to make your way out of it. So you can bring your arms by your sides and prop yourself up onto your elbows to move the cushions out from underneath you. Alternatively, you can simply roll off one side of the cushions, move them out from underneath, and come to lay flat onto your back. Now bend your knees, place your feet about mat distance, and rest your knees together. And just pause for a few moments. A few nice big breaths into your belly here. And then bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a nice big hug. You can rock around a bit here, make some circles with your knees if you like. And then we'll come into a gentle twist. So place your feet to the floor and shift your hips a little towards the right. Then bring your knees in towards you and lower your knees to the left. Now, if your knees kind of sit away from the ground, use a block or cushion either under your knees or in between your knees for some extra support. And then you can look over your right shoulder or you can look up towards the ceiling. It's all good. Wherever your neck feels most comfortable is the great position for your head. And then breathe nice and low into your belly. And lengthen out your exhales. So stay with your breath. Keep lengthening out your exhales. Couple more breaths here. And gently bring yourself back to center out of your twist. Land with your feet wide and your knees together and just pause for a couple of moments. And bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Again, you can rock around, make some circles with your knees if you like. Maybe rock your head a bit side to side as well. Soften into it. Now we'll switch sides on the twist. Shift your hips a little bit towards the left. And then knees in towards you and knees over to the right. And take the time you need to set it up so that you feel comfortable and supported. Remember, you can place a block or cushion between your knees or underneath your knees for some support here. So make sure you can breathe, right? If your breath gets stuck, that might mean that you're kind of pulling just a little bit too much in each direction of the twist. So then that little bit of support underneath your knees can really provide the space for your body to soften so you can still breathe fully. Focus on lengthening out your exhales, so your exhales are a little longer than your inhales. Last couple of breaths here. Okay, gently make your way back to center out of your twist. Again, land with your feet wide, rest your knees together and pause for a few moments. You could rest a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart and just follow the movement of your breath here. Bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, give yourself a nice big hug. Rock around a bit, move around. And gently roll onto one side and make your way up into a seated position. And once you come into your seat, lengthen your left leg and bring the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Few options here to make this more comfortable. You can sit up onto a block or a cushion. You could place something underneath your right knee. You could also place something underneath your left knee. So any of those options that make this feel quite comfortable are perfect. Now turn towards your left leg, lift your right arm up as you inhale, and reach up and over to catch the outside of your left leg. We're using this to lengthen out through the right side of your back. You may also feel it through your left hamstrings. That's perfect too. Your hand might be close to your thigh, around your knee, or down towards your lower leg or even your ankle. It doesn't really matter how far down it is. It's just working this diagonal line, the diagonal reach to your outer leg. And once you create your position, soften the back of your neck. You may like to get some blocks stacked up to rest your head onto, or even a cushion on your left thigh to lean onto. That can be a really great support here as well. So set yourself up in a way that feels good for you right now, and then stay with your breath. Keep lengthening out your exhales here. Make your exhales longer than your inhales. And by doing that, you're creating an exhale emphasized breath. And that exhale emphasized breath is really very effective at down-regulating your nervous system, bringing you into a calmer state. Now, if it's difficult to exhale slowly, then take a few exhales through pursed lips. And those pursed lips really make your exhales slow down because the airflow is restricted. And even after a couple of breaths like that, your natural rate of breathing will slow down. So you can always use that trick, especially if you are practicing yin before bed or in the evening and you're really looking for that wind down sensation. Then make sure you're focusing on lengthening your exhales and finding that exhale emphasized breath. About 3 more steady breaths here. Okay, gently press down into your hands to make your way back up into a seat. Use your hands to help undo your legs, extend your legs out in front of you, and lean back onto your hands. Just let yourself settle after that pose. And then give your legs a little bit of a shake out. You can also press your chest up towards the ceiling. Now we're just going to switch sides. So right leg long, left foot to your inner right thigh. Set yourself up as you like with all of your props, cushions, pillows. And then lift your left arm high as you breathe in. Reach up and over to the outside of your right leg. Wherever your hand lands is a great place to start. And then if you're looking for a little more, you can kind of sneak your hand a little further down your leg. Maybe grab some props to rest your forehead on or to support underneath your chest. And really get steady with your breath. Remember those longer exhales. Soften your face. Soften through the back of your neck. And always remember, a little bit of gentle movement is welcome in these poses. So if you find it really hard to let go of the weight of your head, a little bit of really gentle movement side to side can help that area soften. Try to be as curious as you can about what it is that allows your body to soften into these shapes, soften into these poses. Okay, use your hands pressing down to come back up to a seated position. Again, lengthen your legs out in front of you, lean back onto your hands for a couple moments. And give your legs a little shake out. You can press your chest up if you like. And just bend your knees, place your feet about mat distance, and take a couple windshield wipers side to side with the option to turn your whole upper body a little side to side as you go. So this can really help to loosen up around your hips and around your lower back. And then lengthen your legs out in front of you. We'll go for a caterpillar pose or a seated forward fold. So you can walk your glutes out from underneath your sitting bones, and notice if as you sit here you feel like you're going to kind of fall backwards a bit, then sit up onto a block or a cushion. And that support under your pelvis will help you to lean forward more comfortably. You can also place cushions or blocks underneath your knees here. And then as you're ready, sit tall for an inhale and lean forward as you exhale. It doesn't matter how far forward you move. Just set yourself up so that you feel quite comfortable. You may like to have, again, a block or some cushions underneath your forehead. You could have some props on your thighs just for a bit of extra support as you lean forward. So set it up as it feels best for you right now, knowing that that might be quite different from day to day. And try to let go of the weight of your head, right? So if it takes a little bit of tilting of your head side to side for that to happen, then go for it. And send your breath into your back and keep lengthening out your exhales. Okay, so option 1 is to stay just in stillness, right like this. Option 2 is to add a little bit of movement to this pose. So if you want to give it a go, you slowly with an inhale, roll yourself up to seated and lift your arms all the way up overhead. And then as you exhale, come forward again and allow yourself to soften towards your legs. And you can do this 3 or 4 times in your own time. So this smooth and steady movement, lifting all the way up and then crashing back down towards your legs. So you can take a few, and when you are done, when you feel ready, you come forward and allow yourself to soften back into the forward fold for about 1 more minute in this pose. Okay, very gently. Use your hands pressing down to roll yourself back up into a seat. Once you're here, use your hands to help bend your knees. Place your feet wide, rest your knees together and lean back onto your hands. Take a couple really gentle windshield wipers side to side with your knees. And then come to lay down onto your back and bring a cushion with you, cushion or a block. Once you're on your back, Lift your hips just enough to slide a pillow or cushion underneath your pelvis. So you want to feel your pelvis is really well supported on that prop, and it can just be a pillow. It doesn't need to be a big lift. Gently lift both legs up towards the ceiling. Just creating a very gentle inversion here. Just a short hold. Find a position for your legs that takes very little effort. So they don't need to be all the way straight. It's not super active. Try to soften into it as much as you can. Maybe take a few exhales through your mouth here. And bring your feet back down onto your mat. Lift your hips just enough to move your prop out from underneath you. And land your hips. Lengthen your legs. Shavasana. Take the time you need to set up so you feel good. Yeah, let go of the effort and enjoy your Shavasana. You're welcome to stay longer in your Shavasana or continue your Shavasana in bed. Thank you so much for choosing to step onto your mat, taking this time to be in your body. Have a gorgeous rest of your day or evening or a lovely night's sleep. Namaste.